I'd like to welcome you guys to this week's report. Today is Thursday, November 15th. Kind of a windy week here. Wasn't too bad earlier in the week, got a little windier last few days, and the bad news is tomorrow's going to be the windiest day of the week, and it's going to suck. And depending on how much it sucks, our weekend weather may be out of whack as well. So we're going to have to see what happens. It's forecast to blow like 25, 30 knots along much of the Southern California Bight tomorrow. Recently, that stuff hasn't panned out as bad as they forecasted. So something you can do tomorrow is take a look at your Windy app if you have the paid service, or Surfline, or whoever has the weather stations, and compare what the wind looks like on your app to the actual weather stations. So if it says it's blowing 25 knots Catalina, and you look at Catalina and it's actually blowing 12, that means the weekend will probably be okay. If it looks like it's blowing 25 at Catalina and it's blowing 25, Saturday might not be the day to go out. Sunday is the best day of the weekend, but it's not great. Basically, you can fish the beach, Catalina, maybe the east end of Santa Cruz Island, stuff like that, but the outside stuff looks windy. That's for private boaters. It doesn't look so bad that a sport boat couldn't do it, but even at that, it would be a pretty miserable day. Here, my iPad is shut off again here. Part of the course today. So yeah, look at the actual weather tomorrow and then make some determinations based on that. Hopefully it's not as windy as forecast, but if it is, I advise private boaters to choose another day to make a run to an island or go rock fishing anywhere too far. Even if it's not that windy, it's still going to have a lot of residual wind wave. So on an unrelated fishing note here, it's almost Christmas time. I know it's not Thanksgiving yet, but Christmas is right around the corner, and Jeff Markland from the Thunderbird and his wife Leah, every year they do a toy drive. It's not just toys, it's what they do is they have kids that, they get fun toys for bikes, balls, games, stuff like that. But then they also have families that need stuff. They work with a couple of charities, and they also get stuff for seniors. You can find a list of stuff that they need on Jeff Markland's Facebook page. And he's got drop boxes at Davy's Locker and Newport Sportfish and the Chicken Coop in Costa Mesa, where he has a party every year. But if you're thinking about doing something nice for someone, they've got a pretty good setup with taking care of a lot of people, and they've been doing it for years now. And if you're not local to the Newport Beach or Costa Mesa area, you can very easily Venmo them. I just Venmoed Leah this morning. Her Venmo is at Leah, Leaht, Leaht 1317. I'll put it up on the type so you can actually understand it instead of me trying to do it. But any money they collect goes directly towards people in need, and she'll a lot of times fill out the gaps in the list of stuff they need with cash donations or Venmo donations. So it's Christmas time coming up here. Try and be generous. So on to the fishing. Let's head up to the Channel Islands. In my 2-week-old news report here, over the weekend, the Endeavor actually had limits of sea bass for anglers and crew. 3 fish limits, I think, on Friday, and then again on Sunday. I think they went out. They went 4 days ago. So yeah, Sunday, I think they had 37 fish. They have not repeated that since. I doubt anybody's gotten out off the dock up there, and the weather has not been great every day. So yeah, those things were not biting on a full moon. Full moon's coming up here, so they may bite. I don't think that area is going to be very fishable this weekend, but hopefully next week things calm down, make it doable. The Mirage also had a big yellow up there. I think that was more of a fluke than a harbinger of something else going to happen. But other than that, it's just rockfish up there. That's pretty consistent. I talked to Pat on the Aloha Spirit the other day, and he says that they've been having great rock fishing, a lot of big lings, reds, stuff like that. And the Mirage, not the Mirage, sorry, the Coral Sea got off the dock a few days. They also had really good rock fishing. I saw that Pat ran today. It was really windy, but he still caught fish. The biggest problem with the boats up there in Ventura and Santa Barbara right now is getting enough people to get off the dock. So if you want to go catch rockfish, and it's during the week, and the boats, you know, you're going to be on a light load if you get on one of the boats. They have an online thing now, so you can see who has a few reservations. Grab a couple of your buddies, get the boat off the dock. You know, you go out with light load. The crew will be happy to be fishing, making some money. So it's a win-win. But keep an eye on that weather, and I definitely wouldn't do it this weekend. Down at Clemente, same thing as last week. Very little coverage. Squid there. Boats catching yellows. The Fury fish there on a second day of a 2-day trip. Had some nice yellowtail. And you know, the bass, bonita, and other nonsense rockfish biting as well. But again, yeah, not really a whole lot of boats out there. And with the weather this weekend, I don't really see it getting much coverage as well either, unless something dramatically changes and actually somebody can get off the dock. I'm going to head into Cat. Good fishing there over the weekend. I saw my friends Gary Reyes, Jay Jones, Mike Bonhoff, and Mike's son Trevor at the launch ramp on Saturday afternoon, and they got back from Catalina. Said they had really good calico bass fishing. They caught a few fish on crankbaits, twin baits, and slugs, but they were gulp jerk shads, and they also had good fishing on the A-rig with the Reyes swim baits on there. And all their big fish came on the A-rig. So he said surprisingly good fishing over there, which is nice to see. Sadly, I didn't have such good success on the beach, but I'll talk about that in a minute. And also over the weekend, my friend Steve Duncan fished Cat, caught 2 legal sea bass on live squid. He said that he had to drive around quite a bit to find conditions, but once he did, the fish bit pretty well. So good job to him, and it's nice to see some sea bass being caught. I also heard of some halibut being caught, but you know, we're kind of in that in-between stage right now. It's there probably can be some fish caught throughout the year. The rest of the year here, if the weather doesn't get too blown out, which actually might tomorrow. But as long as conditions remain good, we should have some sea bass and some halibut to be caught, and then hopefully into the new year it'll start to improve. Here it is, the middle of November already, talking about the new year. It's kind of funny. But so along the beach, yeah, the Spitfire out of Maria del Rey is still having some good halibut fishing. They're fishing up the coast in Malibu there, and consistently catching fish. Private boaters that want to catch halibut, you know, don't just go drift in the middle of the sand. You're going to want to find areas that are adjacent to hard bottom or structure, because that's where the halibut like to set up. If a halibut sets up in the middle of a sandy area randomly, the chances of starving to death before they have a bait fish come by that they can eat. So they're going to set up near structure where that thumb goes over the hose, like I talked about in my first SoCal Bight Fishing Academy, and creates some turbulence, which attracts plankton and bait fish, and halibut eat bait fish. So I fish around structure. I actually did a little thing on fishing for halibut on my SoCal Bight Fishing Academy, so you can look back on our logs there and you can find that. Yeah, before I forget here, I already forgot. Obviously, I was going to talk about it at the beginning of the video. I'd like to give you guys an opportunity to start reporting in and seeing some of your reports here on this on my weekly wrap up here. And I was talking to Jessie, my editor over at BD Outdoors. She said the best way to do it for you guys to post a report on our message boards at the Bloody Decks forums. If you guys aren't familiar with that, if you only know me from YouTube here, BD Outdoors started out as a message board called Bloody Decks, and it's still in existence. It's got a ton of information there on boats and you name it, tackle, techniques, everything else. And a lot of people are still posting fish reports on there every week. So what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start checking the fishing reports each week, and if you guys tag me in it, I'll take a look and maybe include you guys in the next report. So if you guys haven't gone over to Bloody Decks in a while, why don't you head over there and check out those message boards, and maybe post a report if you catch something. So anyway, here's my report. Matt and I fished Saturday, and I had some work to do in the morning, so we didn't leave my house till about 10:30. And we launched out of Long Beach. We ran up to Palos Verdes. We hit Point Furman. We hit some of the stuff close there. Never saw a bass. Drove all the way up to Trump National Golf Course, never saw a bass. Drove past the closure to Rocky Point, never saw a bass. Went around the corner almost to Torrance Beach, never saw a bass. So we said, this sucks. It's only been an hour and a half, but we've covered the entire peninsula. It just looked dead. So we're like, go, have fun catching sand bass at least. So we ran all the way back down to the LA Gap and hit, 10 spots there for 0 bites. Then I went outside some deep water outside of Isers, hit about 10 or 15 spots out there for 0 bites. Ran down to Huntington Beach, finally got a bite from a sand bass about this big. And then we went in and we went into Dog Beach there at Huntington. We cranked the oil islands, the oil rigs there, and caught 0 bass. So we spent, we launched at 11 and we were back on the trailer at probably 4, and we caught 1 bass. It was the second worst day of the year, and the first worst day of the year was back in January. So yeah, we absolutely sucked, and everything was just off. Conditions were bad. I think we had 2 short bites plus 1 small bass, and it was pretty horrible. I don't know what happened. It was just one of those days. I guess I was due for one. Benny Florentino of Coastal Charters has been fishing the beach and doing a little better than I did. He fished the Dog Beach area, I think on Sunday, and had some calicos and sand bass on crankbaits for his customers. That's a good area to go in there and crank. Good rule of thumb with crankbait fishing for calicos and sand bass, you don't need your crankbait to go to the bottom. So even if you're in 30 or 40 or 80 feet of water, the fish was suspended, don't bite that crankbait. I'm pretty sure he was probably fishing the shallow stuff in like 20 feet, but that's a good wintertime option. You can do that there. You can do that at the Newport Pipe, down along the coast, below Newport Harbor, that kind of stuff. They'll usually bite a crankbait in open water down there. So sport boat wise, well, it's not really a sport boat, but the Blackfish 6-pack charter at Newport, they've been doing half-day trips, catching nice sand bass, sculpin, sheephead. Had a couple of big sheephead the other day. I didn't get a picture of them. A couple of 15-plus pound fish. And they're also getting some nice reds on their half-day trips as they're fishing deeper. So that's there to be had. If you're a private boater and you want to get a tank of squid and go do that, you probably have pretty good fishing. Fresh frozen works as well, but you want fresh, not the nasty stuff that's 2 years old or something that's prepackaged in a little styrofoam tray that's not the same as fresh dead. Local boats been fishing a 14-mile bank. The freelance has been fishing out there consistently, had pretty good fishing. They had a really big ling the other day. Maybe today. I didn't see the size of it. It's an absolute giant. And that's not a guaranteed fish you're going to catch out there. Obviously, it's the biggest one anybody's seen out there, but you always got a shot of the monster. But yeah, I don't know. I might try and fish cod at 14 Saturday if it doesn't blow as hard as it says it's going to do on Friday. If it blows as hard as it says it's going to do on Friday, I'm probably do boat maintenance in my driveway. So yeah, offshore stuff. Again, not a lot of coverage. The Fury went to Tanner or Cortez, I'm not sure which, on a 2-day over the weekend. They had 13 small bluefin and a couple yellows, 3 yellows. The Thunderbird was out there. They caught some yellows and some rockfish. That bluefin is pretty sparse out there right now. And I don't know. I don't know if anybody's going to be going back out there. I think the weather would have to change or something dramatic happen. I think most of the day-and-a-half boats and stuff right now are probably going to fish rockfish, or if they're getting off the dock, mostly probably overnight trips. So down south, it seems like that area where they were catching those fish in 1.5-day range is dried up. That water went away that those fish were in by the looks of it. I may be wrong, but over the weekend the Polaris Supreme did a 3-day trip, and they ran 250 miles and caught 140 yellowfin and a couple of bluefin. So nice. That's that same grade of yellowfin they were catching closer to home. So I think those fish just slid back down. In better news, the boats coming back from their longer trips. I know the XL and I think the American Angler got into the bigger bluefin yesterday and today. somewhere between the lower banks and here. I'd imagine they're probably in that same area where the Polaris Supreme was, maybe a little below that. But it's nice to see those bigger bluefin are hanging around still on the beach here, which also bodes well for those things not being completely gone. And if the Mexican seiners don't catch them all in the spring, they might slide back up here. And they are actually going to increase the commercial limit for bluefin tuna next year. I think the hearing is in the next week. So hopefully they increase the recreational bag limits as well, but we'll see how that goes. A lot of times our fishing game is not as reactive to fish stocks as the people that watch out over the tuna. But yeah, I don't think this is going to be a great weekend to fish. I might be wrong, I hope I am, but it's not shaping up to be. It's windy, it's full moon. So even if you get there and the weather's decent, you know, bass fishing is probably going to suck. Rockfish might be all plugged on squid. Probably be a big swell after all this wind we're going to have tomorrow. So yeah, a lot of good news there. But hey, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it'll be great. And the only way you're going to know is go out and give it a look. So I hope you guys have a great weekend and good luck if you fish.